To get the full course, visit www.zdub.com. Hello everyone, welcome back to ZDUP Technologies and Services. And these tutorials are the Tableau tutorials. I'm your instructor and I welcome you all to these tutorials. This is the first video, so it would be covering a slight introduction about Tableau. You would get to understand that what is Tableau, what is its importance, what are its features, and why should we learn Tableau. So the first question that must come to your mind as a beginner is, what is Tableau? This tutorial is aimed for the beginners, thus we would be covering everything in detail and will try to clear all your doubts regarding Tableau, around its concepts, and will try to give you as many possible solutions to work with Tableau as possible. So let us first start with the very basic terms that what is Tableau. So Tableau is a business intelligence tool which is termed as a BI tool. It is used to visually analyze the data. Now, what do you mean by visually analyzing the data? As you might know that data is present in the form of text. It could be in the form of image. It could be in the form of videos or anything else. So when we have data, generally or most commonly, the data we have is present in the form of a text. Now, when we work with this data, what do we have is the textual organization of the data, which is not very interactive. We cannot find out that what is happening with the data. So with the help of tools like Tableau, we analyze it visually by representing it in the form of different graphs or charts, and we gain better insights into our data. The users can create many types of visualizations with the help of Tableau with no practical or technical knowledge about how the data is organized or how these things work. It is a very simple tool with an available GUI. All you need to do is just with the help of a few mouse clicks, you would be able to get the desired visualization for your data. In less than 5 seconds, with proper practice, you can create any visualization in Tableau. So it sounds good, right? So that is why we use Tableau in many places to analyze the data and to represent it visually. Now, here are some facts about Tableau. Let us understand them, try to see them, and try to see that what is their importance. The first one is that the users can create dashboards that depict trends and variations and density of the data in the form of graphs and charts. So what is a dashboard? If you have seen some websites that are used to depict some kind of analysis, then you might have noticed that there are a few pages where you get to see different kinds of visualizations grouped together. You would be able to see some numbers, some graphs, some charts, some visualizations. So collection of all those things is called a dashboard. We can create many dashboards in Tableau as per our choice, and each dashboard can depict the various trends in data, the variations in data, and represent them visually. Apart from this, we can use a variety of graphs and charts which have their support from Tableau. Tableau can connect to the files. So if you have data in different formats, then also it doesn't matter. Your data can be in the form of files. It can be a relational data. So relational data here refers to the tables. Suppose you have data in the form of MS Access files or Microsoft SQL Server or MySQL or PostgreSQL, anything would work for you. And big data sources as well, such as Hadoop, Spark, etc. Tableau actually supports around 50 plus sources. That means your data can be in any format. If it is supported by Tableau, then you would be able to just import your data from that particular source into Tableau within seconds without any conversion. It provides data blending and real-time collaboration features as well. So what are these? Actually, these features help us to make Tableau very unique, because these features are not provided by each and every business intelligence tool out there. These features make sure that Tableau is well understood and well used by the people out there. Real-time collaboration refers to the fact that once you have created any kind of a dashboard in Tableau, then many people in your organization can contribute to it in real time. They can collaborate together and work on that particular dashboard. Apart from this, data blending refers to the fact that you can get data from different sources and accumulate it together to generate dashboards and different types of visualizations. Tableau is used by businesses, academic researchers, and many government organizations for visual data analysis. So basically, any place or any organization where visual data analysis is required or a business intelligence tool is needed, Tableau can be used. It is actually one of the leading business intelligence tool and an analytics platform in the Gartner Magic Quadrant. So that is kind of like an important thing. That means that Tableau is considered a good tool in the market. So these are some of the facts about Tableau. Let us now discuss about the Tableau products. So actually we have different products of Tableau. These are commonly referred to as the Tableau product suite. So this is the Tableau product suite, in which we have 5 products. These include Tableau Desktop, Tableau Public, Tableau Online, Tableau Server, and Tableau Reader. All these products or all these things which are a part of the Tableau product suite make sure that Tableau is available to be used very easily by people on different platforms. You can use Tableau offline as well as online. Since Tableau is a powerful and fastest growing data visualization tool which is used in the business intelligence industry, that is why we have these different products available with us. Now if we just talk about these products, so basically there are 2 types of tools, the developer tools and the sharing tools. All these products are actually categorized into 2 types, developer tools and sharing tools. Developer tools are the ones that are used for the development and the creation of dashboards, charts, reports, etc. Tableau Desktop and Tableau Public are examples of developer tools. The rest 3 are the sharing tools. As the name suggests, the purpose of these sharing tools is to share the visualizations, reports, or dashboards that are originally created using the developer tools. So real-time collaboration, which is a very important feature of Tableau, is provided by these products. These products include Tableau Online, Tableau Server, and Tableau Reader. As the name suggests, an active internet connection or presence of the user or to be online is required for the usage of these Tableau products. So this is just a general introduction about the Tableau, in which we discussed about its facts, about its products a little bit. However, this is just an introductory video, and that's all for this video. In the next video, we will continue our discussion in which we will try to learn more about these Tableau products. In the previous video, that was the introductory video, we learned about Tableau and some of its facts. So to brush up, Tableau is actually a business intelligence and a data visualization tool that helps in simplifying the raw data into the visualizations, which can be in the form of graphs, charts, reports, or dashboards. So that it is understood very easily by everyone out there. You do not need any kind of technical knowledge or understanding about the data to understand these visualizations. So Tableau helps create the data that can be understood not only by any layman, but it also helps to communicate the information the data is trying to convey to the professionals at any level in an organization. It also allows non-technical users to create customized dashboards for better understanding of the data. Data analysis is done in a very fast pace with the tools such as Tableau, and the visualizations are created in the forms of the dashboards and worksheets, which are shareable throughout their peers. The best features of Tableau are data blending, real-time analysis, and data collaboration. The great thing about Tableau is that you do not need any kind of technical or programming skills to operate it. It is a purely GUI based tool, and it has garnered interest among the people from all the sectors such as business researchers, data analysts, data scientists, and other professionals across different industries. So let us now understand about the different Tableau products that we have available. In the previous video, we have already discussed these 5 products which are a part of the Tableau product suite. So we understood that they are classified into 2 sections: developer tools and sharing tools. Now we will study all of these products one by one, starting with Tableau Desktop. Tableau Desktop has a rich feature set, and it allows us to customize the reports, create dashboards, and create different kinds of visualizations. In this tutorial course, we would be using Tableau Desktop only. Right from creating the charts, reports, to blending them all together to form a dashboard, all the work that is necessary is done through this tool, Tableau Desktop. For the services such as live data analysis, Tableau Desktop provides a feature that is a connectivity to the data warehouse as well as other types of files, so that you can perform live data analysis. The workbooks or the dashboards or the reports that are created can be shared either locally in offline mode, or publicly, or with the colleagues through the online mode or the sharing tools. Based on the connectivity to the data sources and the publishing options, Tableau can be classified into Tableau Desktop Personal or Tableau Desktop Professional. Tableau Desktop Personal, as the name suggests, is the version that keeps the workbook private and the access is limited. The workbooks by this cannot be published online. Therefore, it could be distributed only offline or through Tableau Public, which is our next product. But before going into that, let us discuss about Tableau Desktop Professional. So it is also very much similar to Tableau Desktop Personal. That is, it provides all the features to create the visualizations based upon different data sources, which is 50 plus data sources supported by Tableau. The difference is that the work or the reports created in Tableau Desktop Professional can be shared online or in Tableau Server. Also in the professional version, there is full access to all sorts of the data types. It is best suitable for those who want to ultimately publish their work online in Tableau Server. Next product we have is known as Tableau Public. So let us discuss that. What is it? It is also part of the developer tools, just like Tableau Desktop. It is a version that is built for the public or the cost-effective users. That means the workbooks created cannot be saved locally, but whatever you have created, you can just save your work in the Tableau's public cloud, which can be viewed and accessed by anyone. So if you want to share your work with all the people out there who are using the public cloud, then you can use this product, which is Tableau Public. There is no privacy of the files saved to the cloud because anyone has access to those files, anyone can download those files. That is why any of the confidential work is not done through Tableau Public. Instead, Tableau Desktop is preferred for that. This version is best for those who want to learn Tableau or who want to just share their data or their visualizations with the general public. We would be seeing the usage of Tableau Public as well in this course because it is kind of a very important tool, especially for the beginners, which you all are since you have taken up this course. So these are the two developer tools. Now let us talk about the sharing tools. The first sharing tool we have is known as Tableau Online. So what is Tableau Online? It is an online sharing tool of Tableau. Its functionalities are very similar to Tableau Server. The data it stores is stored on servers, is hosted in the cloud, which are maintained by the Tableau group. So actually there is no storage limit on the data that can be published in Tableau Online. It creates a direct link to around 40 plus data sources that are hosted in the cloud. These include some of the popular ones like MySQL, Hive, Spark, etc. If you want to publish your reports, then either it is Tableau Online or Tableau Server. The workbook must be created in Tableau Desktop only. Then only you would be able to publish them. Data that is taken from applications, online applications such as Google Analytics, is also supported by both Tableau Online and Tableau Server. Now let's talk about the second tool, that is Tableau Server. So this software is used to share the workbooks visualizations that are created in Tableau Desktop across the organization. If you want to share them, then you can just use particular product, that is Tableau Server. To share the dashboards, firstly the work must be published in Tableau Desktop. Once it's published, you can then upload it to the server, which would be accessible only to the licensed users. Thus the concept of privacy, which was introduced in Tableau Public, or security issues that arose, are solved over here. However, it is not necessary that the licensed users need to have the Tableau server installed on their machine. They just require the login credentials, and through the web browser you can just access those things that are shared with you. The admin of the organization will have full control over the server, so the hardware and software are also maintained by the organization. That is why any kind of issues are resolved by the organization itself. Last but not the least, we have Tableau Reader, which is a free tool that allows anyone to view the workbooks and visualizations that are created using Tableau Desktop or Tableau Public. The data can be filtered, but editing and modifications are restricted over here. Security level is like 0. So anyone who has Tableau Reader can access any kind of workbook or any dashboard. So if you want to share the dashboards that you have created, the receiver should have Tableau Reader installed to view that particular workbook. So this is a general introduction about the different Tableau products. Of course, each one of them has their own advantages and disadvantages. Basically, this was just to make you aware about how the products are and how they are gonna work. That's all for this video. In the next video, we will see that how Tableau works, or where is it used. Thanks for watching. This is the third video in this tutorial series. In the previous two videos, we have introduced ourselves with Tableau. We learned about its features, and we also saw the different products that constitute the Tableau product suite. Also, we learned about them, that what are their advantages, what are the usage of each of those products. In this video, we will primarily focus on that how actually Tableau works and what are the areas in where Tableau is used. Okay. So first of all, let us start with the working of Tableau, that how Tableau works. Actually, what happens is Tableau, as we know, is a business intelligence and a data visualization tool. Its main function is that it should support the different sources, because what do we need basically in the business intelligence tools is data. This data can be in any format. It could be in the form of an Excel sheet, a CSV file, a table, or it could be unstructured in the form of a JSON file. It could be organized in the form of you can say in Hadoop, in the form of a big data, a Spark, or any kind of online cloud databases as well. So what does Tableau does? It supports 50 plus sources from where you can extract the data directly into the Tableau software. It connects and extracts the data which is stored in various formats. It can actually pull the data from any format that is imaginable, such as Excel, PDF, or complex databases like Oracle, cloud, such as AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud. Also, it supports online tools such as Google Analytics as well, and other sources also. So, first step is that you must identify your data source, that is from where you want to just take your data, and then you should allow Tableau to connect itself with that particular data source. So when Tableau is launched, ready data connectors are available from which we can connect to any database depending upon the version of the Tableau that we are using or that we have purchased. There are a number of data connectors that are supported. So it depends actually on the versions and the kind of the product we are using. The data, once it has been imported or once it has been pulled into Tableau, can be connected via two formats, that is live or extracted, to the Tableau's data engine, that is Tableau Desktop. Now, what is live and extracted? There are two different formats which we will see practically. It is actually related to the updation of data. If you choose live, then whatever updation you do into your original data source would be reflected in Tableau. In the case of extracted, a copy of the data is stored into the Tableau's data engine. That means any of the changes in the original data source will not reflect in Tableau. Once you have pulled the data source, now the work of the data analyst, data engineer, etc. starts, and whatever data is there, whatever data is being pulled up, now it can be used to create visualizations. What visualizations you are going to create, what graphs you are going to generate, or how the trends are going to show, it actually depends on the individual data source and the requirement. So there are different visualizations supported by Tableau. You can use any one which suits your needs the best. From there you can create dashboards which actually produces a combination of different you can say graphs or charts or visualizations. The created dashboards are shared with the users in the different formats. It could be shared with the users of the organization in a private mode, or it can also be shared publicly as a workbook published through Tableau Public. Or it could be shared in the form of a static file. That means the users can only view that file and make no changes into it. However, Tableau also supports real-time collaboration. That means if you want other users to coordinate or collaborate with you on that particular workbook, then that is also possible. The users who receive those dashboards can view the files using the various tools or the products such as Tableau Reader. The data that is generated from the Tableau Desktop can be published to Tableau Server. Basically, Tableau Server, as we have already discussed, is a platform through which we can collaborate, distribute, and interact with the different users who have published their works. With Tableau Server, the end users have a better experience in accessing the files from all locations, such as desktop, mobile, tablet, or anything else. So that is how Tableau works. I know it may sound a bit complicated, especially since you all are beginners, but don't worry. This is just the starting. We will see each and every step in detail practically, and believe me, it is very simple. It is just like creating a simple PPT and sharing it with people all around the globe or publishing it on the internet. Okay, so this is all about the Tableau working. Let us now understand that where Tableau is used. So these are the places where Tableau is mainly used. You can see there are these different places. The first main usage of Tableau is in business intelligence. So business intelligence actually is a field where the main purpose is that the data from an organization is collected and it is visualized to understand better about the organization as a whole. It is generally used by top level management to take decisions for the betterment of the organization. Any data that is represented visually through graphs, charts, or any kind of a report is easier to understand whether it is a professional or by it as a layman. That is why business intelligence is the most important field where Tableau is used. Other business intelligence tools are also available, such as Power BI. Next is data visualization. Data visualization, as you all might have been known up till now, is the process through which the data is visualized or is converted into visuals to gain better insights, to find out any kind of trends, or to predict any kind of information from the data. It can be as simple as a line chart or a bar chart, or it can be as complex as a heat map. Next is data collaboration. Data collaboration occurs when we want the data from different sources to be merged together, or if we want the dashboard or the visualization that have been generated to be shown by different people or to be viewed by different people, and we want different people to come together and collaborate towards the making of a general report or a dashboard that is produced in a uniform manner and shared all over the place. So data collaboration is also supported by Tableau. Other features include data blending, which we have already discussed in the previous videos. Along with this, we have real-time data analysis, which also we have discussed. Query translation into visualizations. So basically, if you have any query, you can easily translate it into visualization. Tableau supports big data sources as well, such as Hadoop, Spark. That is why it supports large size of data. You need not have any programming language or coding skills to create queries on data and to manage large size of metadata, that is some secondary data. Tableau is used as well. So these are some of the fields where Tableau is used, or some of the features where Tableau is used. I hope you all are able to understand the importance of Tableau now. Now, actually, this is all that introduction that we need to know about Tableau, and that's all for this video. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tableau tutorials. These tutorials are brought to you by Is Technologies and Services. In this video, we are going to discuss the architecture and the server components of Tableau. So basically, Tableau Server is designed in such a way that it allows us the availability of the data connectors. Using these data connectors, we can connect with different data sources, right? And once the report or the workbook has been made, then with the help of the different products which are a part of the Tableau product suite, we can share our creation with the users that are from different backgrounds, provided they must have login credentials and a working web browser. Now, any user who is either using a desktop, a laptop, a mobile, or a tablet, if he has a working internet connection and a web browser and the required credentials, he can view that workbook that anyone has created or shared with them. Tableau Desktop is actually a robust data visualization tool that is very simple to use, very secure, and its availability is high. It can run on both virtual machines and physical machines as well. It is a multi-user, multi-process, and multi-threaded system. So for those who understand those technical terms might understand that how good is Tableau Desktop. For those who don't understand, let me explain it to you. Multi-user means many users can come together and collaborate towards the working of a simple workbook in Tableau Desktop. Multi-process and multi-threading means that different instances can be created for Tableau Desktop, just like a Microsoft Word. So what happens in Microsoft Word is that you can create different documents and you can work on them simultaneously, right? While you're editing one document, you can just keep it open. You can open a new document. You can work on 3 documents, or you can view 3 documents simultaneously, right? So that is through multi-threading. Providing powerful features, such powerful features like these actually requires a robust architecture. That is why we are going to understand the architecture of Tableau Server in this particular video. So this is a diagram. This is actually a diagrammatic representation. Let me get a pen. This is a diagrammatic representation of Tableau Server architecture. There are various layers that are used, which are given over here in this particular diagram. So let us understand them one by one. The first one is Data Server. As you can see, it is pointed by this number 1. Now, what is this Data Server? It is the primary component of the Tableau architecture, and the data sources connect to it. Now, we know that Tableau is something that supports multiple data sources, actually 50 plus data sources, which can be on the particular machine, downloaded on the particular machine in which we are using Tableau Desktop, or they can be remotely located as well in the form of cloud services such as Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, etc. So, whether the data source is stored locally or whether it is available online, Tableau provides us full support to connect to those data sources, provided that your version of Tableau supports that particular connection. Tableau can connect data from heterogeneous or different environments, and it can also blend the data from multiple sources. And can make a relationship between the different types of data sources, such as files. We have a data warehouse, that is a whole database, or anything as well. Next, we have data connectors. This is the second layer. Data connectors actually provide interface so that the data sources, the external data sources that are available, can connect with Tableau. Tableau has a built-in connector, that is the ODBC and the SQL connector. ODBC can connect to any database without using their native connector. And we have an option to select either live connection or extracted connection. Now we have discussed them as well, but let me just discuss them in brief once more. Firstly, let us talk about live connection or the real-time data. Now, Tableau can connect to the real-time data, and what it does is it links or creates a link to the external database directly. It uses the infrastructure of the existing database system in this case by sending an MDX connector. This is the MDX connector and the SQL statements. This feature link to the live data with Tableau rather than importing it. That means in case you are working with any kind of a data source that is bound to change constantly. Suppose, let us take an example in which I am providing you a data source which is updated daily. Like suppose I want to create a dashboard about the COVID patients. Okay, so that data is updating daily. New cases are arising, new people are recovering. So all this data is updating daily. So that kind of a connection requires a live connection or a real-time data connection, because the data source is frequently changing and we want the changes to be reflected in Tableau. So this is the live connection. Next we have is the extracted or the in-memory data connection. In this, what happens is the connection is made and the data is extracted from the external data source. A local copy of that particular data source is made in the form of Tableau extract file. It can extract millions of records and store them into the Tableau data engine with a single click. Now Tableau data engine uses the storages such as RAM, cache memory, ROM, etc. Once the data has been extracted or it has been imported, using the filters, Tableau can extract few records from a huge dataset as well. This improves the performance, especially while you are working with big data or like huge data sets. Extracted or in-memory data allows the users to visualize the data offline without connecting to the data source. It has another advantage. Suppose you have imported the data and your data source gets deleted, then also no effect is going to be on the workbook that you have created, because Tableau creates a copy of that particular data in its data engine and it uses that copy to generate the workbooks or the dashboard or any kind of visualization. That is why you need not worry about the external data. It might get corrupted, it might get lost, then also your visualizations or your work will not get compromised. Next we have the components of Tableau Server. So there are three different components: the application server, the Viz SQL server and the data server. Now what are these three? This we will discuss in the next video, because this Tableau server architecture is a huge topic. That is why it is not going to be covered in just a single video, and it is a very important thing. You might need to know and understand that what is the architecture behind Tableau server. So that's all for this video, in which we discuss the first two components, that is data server and the data connectors in Tableau. In the upcoming video, we will discuss about Tableau components, the three different components which we have available, what are their uses, how they are used, and then we will discuss about the gateway, the customers, the clients, and more. So that's all for this video, and thanks for watching. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tableau tutorials. These tutorials are brought to you by Is Tableau Technologies and Services. In this video, we are going to continue our discussion on the architecture of Tableau Server. We have already discussed the data server and the data connectors components in the previous video actually. So in case you have not seen that video, I would recommend you all to first go and see that. Otherwise, the remaining portion, that is the Tableau components, gateway, etc., won't be easy for you to understand. But once you have seen that video, it would be easier for you to connect yourself with what we have discussed previously. So let us start with the video. The third part of this architecture is the Tableau components. There are three components as we have discussed, that is the application server, SQL, and data server. Okay, so first of all, let us discuss about this, that is the application server. Okay, now what is this application server? This is a component that is used to provide authentication and authorization. So authentication and authorization means that firstly, authentication, let us discuss what is authentication. It is that suppose you want to log in to Instagram, then what you need to provide is your email and your password. So that is you providing your authentication details. Then what happens? The server, the Instagram server, authenticates that whether you are the person whose details you have provided or not. So that is authentication, to check whether you are that person or not. Next, we have authorization. How is authorization different? Suppose on Instagram you want to visit a page. Suppose you want to visit a page of the official Instagram page of like any celebrity. Then you are only authorized to visit that page. You can like that page or follow that particular celebrity. You can see what content they have posted publicly, how many followers they have, how many they are following, right? However, you do not have the permission to post any content on the behalf of that celebrity. So that is authorization, means you can only carry out those actions for which you are authorized. You can post content onto your own account but not to someone else's account unless and until you are authorized to do so. So this is authentication and authorization, and both of them are very useful for security purposes, which are provided by the application server. It also handles administration and permission for web and mobile interfaces. It assures security by recording each session ID on the Tableau server. The administrator can configure the default timeout of the session in the server for added security and have a look on who is doing what and for how much time. Next we have is the Sql Server. So this is the second one, that is the Sql Server. It is used to convert the queries from the data source into visualizations. Once the client request is forwarded to this, that is the SQL process, it sends the query directly to the data source and retrieves the information in the form of images. The image or the visualization generated is given or shown to the user. The Tableau server again creates a cache of the visualization to reduce the loading time. The cache can be shared across many users who have the permission to view that particular visualization. It is a very important component of Tableau. How this we will see throughout the course of the tutorials. Third we have is the data server. Now, this data server is used to manage and store the data from external data sources. As we have been repeatedly discussing that Tableau supports many external data sources. It is a central data management system, provides the functions such as metadata management, data security, data storage, data connection, and driver requirements. It stores relevant details of the data that has been imported, either in live format or an extracted format, such as metadata, calculated fields, sets, groups, parameters, range, etc. The data source could extract data as well as make live connections to the external data sources. So what is metadata actually? Metadata is the data about data. Suppose you have imported the information of the COVID patients on a particular date. So you have a table with 2 columns, date and the number of patients. So its metadata includes such as the type of the data. So date is going to be in a datetime format and the number of COVID patients is going to be a number. So all this detail is metadata. That is data about data. Next we have is gateway. Let us discuss the fourth component, that is gateway. The gateway channelizes the request from the users to the Tableau components. Whenever the user makes a request, then what happens is that it is processed by something called external load balancer. The gateway works as a distributor of processes to various components. For a single server configuration, one primary server or gateway manages all the processes. For multiple server configurations, one physical system works as a primary server while others as the workers. Only one machine can be used as a primary server in Tableau Server environment. So basically where all your data is processed or how the requests that you have made to the Tableau are handled is determined by this gateway. So this is like the heart of the Tableau. Next we have the customer or the clients. So the dashboards and the visualizations that are created in Tableau Server can be viewed and edited by different clients. These clients can be working on different formats like Tableau Desktop, Tableau Mobile or Tableau Web. Applications. So what are these? Firstly, Tableau Desktop. It is the business analytics or the business intelligence tool that helps to create, view and publish the dashboards in Tableau Server. The users can access various data sources and build visualizations in Tableau Desktop. So Tableau Desktop is the same product that we have discussed up till now. Next, this is a new one, that is Tableau Mobile. Now what does this mean? The dashboards from the server can be visualized and they can be changed, or the users can interact with these dashboards using mobile browsers or applications. If you have proper credentials or if a particular report or a workbook is shared with you, then you can just use your mobile or a web browser to just open that up and view it. Not only view it, if you want to change something into it, then also you can do that. The browser and the application can be used to view and edit the contents of the workbook, and it could be opened through the help of a mobile app, which is Tableau Online, Tableau Mobile actually, which is available for download on Google Play Store and App Store. Next we have this Tableau Web. So we have the web browsers such as Google Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge. Basically any standard web browser that can be used for browsing supports Tableau Server. The contents and visualizations in the dashboard can be edited and viewed through these web browsers by anyone if you have the proper login credentials. So this is all about the architecture of Tableau Server. I hope you all are able to understand this and understand its importance. That's all for the introduction about the Tableau. Starting from the next video, we will first see that how can we install the Tableau Desktop for us, and then we will start with the tutorials that include all the practical applications and the discussions about the Tableau. So from the next video onwards, we would start with the installation process of Tableau. And let me tell you that Tableau is available for a 14-day trial version. So we would be installing that, but we would be discussing about different products as well, because there are different ways in which they can be used. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tableau tutorials. These tutorials are brought to you by Is Technologies and Services. In this video, we will see the installation of Tableau Desktop. So let us start with the installation process, and believe me, this installation process is real simple. So you do not need to worry about this. Actually, what happens in Tableau Desktop is you get a 14-day trial that is for free. So we would be installing that trial. Now if you want to purchase the software, you can purchase it and use your product key as well. So all you need to do is Google Tableau download. Then the first link that you get, as you can see, it is from the official Tableau website. So you can just click on this link and you see Tableau Desktop, start your 14-day trial, which is for free. So what you can do over here is provide email address. Now here business email is written, but it doesn't matter. You can provide a Gmail address as well, or of any public email service as well. It need not be a business email. It's just written over here. So once you provide your email, you need to click on this button, that is download free trial, and a file will be downloaded for you. So I have already downloaded this file. Let me just show you in my downloads. This is the file, that is Tableau Desktop 64-bit 2021 10.exe. This is an exe file. Its size was around 450 MB. So once you just click on this download free trial, then this download will start. Now what you can do is start the process of installation. You can click on show in folder, and here it is, that is in the desktop. I have stored this file. You can double click to open it up. Now here what you need to do is you need to just check both these options and click on install. Now here you need to click on yes, and then you need to wait for a few seconds till this process is being carried out. So this is gonna take a few minutes. You have to wait for the setup to just perform all the required operations. So what we are going to do is just wait for a few seconds, and I will continue with this video once the progress has been completed. Okay. So now the installation process has been completed, and as you can see, we have got this Tableau registration. Now what we are going to do is we are going to start the trial version. Okay. However, if you have already purchased Tableau, then you can activate it by clicking here, by providing either a product key or by signing into Tableau Server. Or if you don't have this, what you can do is you can just continue with the free trial. So what you need to do is you need to fill in all these details, and once you're done with that, you can click on start trial now, and your trial would be started. So let me just quickly fill on those details and then click on start trial. So now what happens is our trial has been activated, our free trial has been activated, and once it has been activated for you as well, you would be seeing this kind of a screen. Now what will happen is once you have completed registration and clicked on start free trial button, then it would take few minutes, usually 1 minute, to just send that whole data to server. So you need to wait for that much amount of time. After the data has been sent to the server and it's been verified, then you would be getting a screen like this, that is your Tableau home screen. Now remember one thing, this free trial is available only for 14 days, and 14 days of Tableau product on one machine is available. That means once you have installed Tableau Desktop, you won't be able to use it after 14 days or after your trial period has expired, right? Also one more thing, whatever email ID you have provided while installing Tableau Desktop, that is the same email ID that you need to provide while registration. Otherwise it may throw some error because you cannot provide like different email IDs, right? Okay, so that's all about installing. Now let us work on this home screen and try to just understand what is it. Okay. So firstly, we are getting a welcome message that 14-day trial has started. We can close this message. On the left hand side, we have this connect bar. That means we can search for data or data source from all these places, right? These are some of the common sources from where we can get a data. You can click on more, and actually you would be getting a dialog box. So if you have already present workbooks, you can just use them from here. Okay, next we have to a server. If you click on more, then in this case what will happen is we will get all these sources. Now what are all these sources? Actually, these are the sources that are supported by Tableau. That means if your data is in the form of any of these things, then you can just connect it directly with Tableau. For an overview, we can understand that it could be Microsoft products, it could be Google products, it could be SAP products, or it could be Spark, anything like that. Okay, it could be in the form of Dropbox. We have IBM DB2, we have MariaDB. We have many more things, or many things actually, which you can connect it with. MySQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL, Salesforce, everything is available. These are installed connectors. These are actually the connectors that have already been installed. Total 74 connectors are available. Now this totally depends upon the version of Tableau that you are using. Currently we are using the 2021 version, so these 74 connectors are supported. In case you are using any other version, so the number of these connectors may be different for you. Now over here we have these saved data sources. Now what are these saved data sources? Actually what happens in Tableau is, once you install Tableau, there are some of the sample files also which are installed, right? And these are the two sample files, that is sample Superstore and word indicators. So if you just click on this sample Superstore, actually this is the whole file. This is actually a Tableau book that has been opened. We didn't want to go here because it is something that we need to understand a little bit later on. So what we can do is exit this. Okay, so basically let me take you to the original place where those repositories are located. Okay, so you need to go to this PC, and in this PC you have to go to this documents folder. Okay, now in this documents folder you will see this folder called this my Tableau repository that has been created. You can open it up and you will see all these things available. Here we have these data sources, and this is the version information, that is 2021.1, and in the version information we have something called NUS. So if you open it, here are the four things that we are getting. Two of them are Tableau data source, one is the Tableau extract file, and one is a Microsoft Excel file of sample Superstore. So basically this is a sample file that is available for us to use. Okay, so we can open it up, and here is the whole file. This is a good data set which we can use very easily with our Tableau. So what we will do throughout this tutorial course is we would be using this data set only, that is our sample Superstore data, to work upon it. As you can see, there are three sheets: the orders sheet, the people sheet, and the returns sheet available with us. Okay, so this is what we have got. We have got a large number of records, a large number of rows, around 9,000 to 10,000 rows are available. So we would be using this data set throughout our tutorial course. This is available with us, and this has already been installed, or it has already been imported into Tableau. However, still we will see that how can we first import this data set into Tableau, or how can we import any kind of data set from the different data sources into our Tableau. So that's all for this video, and let's continue our discussion on Tableau from the next video onwards. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tableau tutorials. These tutorials are brought to you by Tableau Technologies and Services. In this video, we will work with Tableau and we'll try to import a sample Superstore data source into our Tableau. Okay, so if you see, we have these common files which we can directly import into our Tableau desktop, right? And this is exactly what we are going to do. If you remember, we have the sample Superstore file which was available in the form of a Microsoft Excel file, right? So what we do is we go to this option, that is Microsoft Excel, click on it, and here we have this file, that is the sample Superstore. We can just select it and click on open. Now what happened is this sample Superstore data file has been opened for us. If you remember, we had 3 sheets and 3 tables. So this is exactly what we are getting. We are getting these 3 sheets and 3 tables as well. Okay, so let us work with this orders table. Whichever table you want to work with, you can just drag it over here. Okay, right now we just want to work with one table, that is the orders table. Now let us understand that what all is happening over here. Firstly, this is actually the data from our original data source that we are getting. Whatever you want, you can just drag it over here, and if you want to drag more tables, then you can drag them as well, and they would be related. Suppose I try to drag this returns table over here, then what will happen? Connection is being established. You see, this is the relationship that can exist between these 2 tables, but right now we are not going to focus on that because that would just complicate the things which we don't want. We will see about this relationship stuff later on in the tutorial. Right now what we want to do is remove this returns table. So how can you do that? You can just right click and click on remove. Okay, so this orders table is present. Now over here, what do we have is the name of the sheet, that is orders, and the name of the data source, that is sample Superstore. Right, if you want to create a new data source, you can just click on a new data source from here, and a new data source would be available for creation. Now here we have this connection where we have 2 options, the live and the extract. Now we have already discussed throughout our introduction that what is the meaning of these 2 things, that what does this live does and what does this extract does, right? So this is exactly what we were discussing, that if you just set up a live connection, then connection to the original data source would be established by Tableau, and any changes made to the original data source would be reflected over here. However, if you select an extracted connection, then a copy of the data source would be created in Tableau's records in the cache memory, and that data source, if gets deleted or if gets changed, then also no effect would be shown in Tableau workbook. Okay, so these are the 2 things that we have. Now we have this data source, this preview of the data source. Actually, as you can see, we are getting all these records, around 1000 records we are getting. Okay, and all these columns we are getting. Okay, now we have 2 options. Either we can show them like in a data source, in a preview data source format, or we can manage its metadata. Now what is metadata? Metadata is the data about data, right? If we just go to this default option, that is preview data source, so a data source is shown to us, like the different columns name, row ID, order date, ship date, etc. Apart from this, we are getting the name of the sheet or the name of the table, whose part they are, like orders table. All of them are part of the orders table, right? And above that, we are getting some symbols like hash, ABC. This is a calendar symbol, and this is a globe symbol, etc. So what does this means? These symbols actually correspond to the different data type of the data that is present in the columns, right? If you see in this row ID, what we are having is numbers. So this hash symbol represent the numbers. Here we are having some numbers and some letters. So that is why ABC, that means the characters, is the data type. Here we have dates. So this is a date data type. Again, shipment date is a date. So this is a date data type, and so on. Then we have this globe because this is a country. United States is a country. So that is why we are getting this globe symbol over here. Similarly for city, similarly for state, and similarly for postal code, we are getting this globe symbol, right? Now, you can see these are the common data types that we are having. However, in case you are having a particular data type and you want to change it to a different data type, then how will you do that? So basically what happens is these data types are automatically determined by Tableau, but in some cases it may be a possibility that the Tableau has not done a good job and you want to just change the data type. So what you can do is you can click on this down arrow button. Instead of this down arrow button, you need to click on this symbol, and here you have all these data types. Now these are the different data types available. That is number. It could be in the form of a decimal number or a whole number, right? Suppose right now we have this whole number being highlighted for row ID. If you want to change it to decimal number, you can just click on that, and what will happen after a few seconds is you see the row ID is now a decimal number, that is 1.00, 2.00, 3.00, and so on. Similarly, if you want to change it to a date and time format, you can just select that, and it would take a few seconds to show the changes. It's showing us error because one is not a good date, or it is not a proper date, right? So this is a symbol that we are getting for date and time, and so on. You can just change it to different data types like date. It could be a string, it could be a boolean values are either true or false. You can check for that as well. I expected null, and null is being shown. So basically this is to show you about this different symbols. Like in the case of boolean, we have t/f. Next we have is the geographic rule. So geographic rule is to set for this globe icon, that is for a country, for a state, for a city, for postal code, etc. Okay, so let us just keep it as a whole number because that's the most appropriate data type for a row ID. If you go to the country region, here you see we have it in the form of a string, or actually in the form of a geographic rule, that is country or region, that has been by default selected by it. See, this is highlighted. Although string is highlighted, but it is treated as a geographic rule of country and region. So basically you can just check all these different data types and explore more about them if you want. Now let us just discuss about more things. Here is the sort fields option. So how you want to sort your fields. Right now, however, the fields were available in the data source. They are written like this with the help of the row ID. If you want it in the A to Z ascending order, so you see category, city, country, customer ID, customer name, then discount. So all the columns have been converted into the A to Z ascending order. If you want it in the descending order, that is from Z to A, so that would also be done. That is when you are getting subcategory, S, R, P, Q, and so on. Then we have A to Z ascending per table. So actually this would work if you are working with multiple tables. So in this case it won't work, and it would give you the only columns from A to Z ascending order. Similarly, we have Z to A descending per table. That would give you nothing but a descending order of the columns as it was present normally only. So whatever you want to keep, you can keep. I'm just going with the default one, that is data source order, because it is easier for me to understand that what is happening with the data source in this order, that is the data source order, right? Now what we are getting is, by default we are getting 1,000 rows shown over here. However, if you remember, in the data source we originally had around 10,000 rows. So does that means that only 1,000 rows have been taken into consideration and the rest have been dropped? No, it's not that. So how do we get to see all these rows? Or if you want not those 1,000 rows to be shown in a preview, you want like less rows or more rows. So how will we work with that? Apart from that, if you don't want all the columns to be shown, you want some columns to be hidden. So how will you work with that? So these are some of the questions which we will be answering in the next video. That's all for this one. In the previous video, we saw some insights into our data source. That is, how can we import a simple data source, that is the Excel sheet, into Tableau, and what are the different operations we can perform once it has been imported. So in this video we are going to continue our discussion. In this video basically we are going to see that how can we modify the preview first. Okay, so this is a preview of the data source that has been generated. If you want, you can just change it to a metadata as well. Now what is metadata? Metadata is the data about data. That means if you have a table, then the data about the table or the data about the individual columns of the table is known as metadata. What information you have in the metadata is the name of the field, that is row ID, suppose you have, so that is available, or the name of the field. Its data type, which is in the form of a symbols, from which table it is, which is the orders table, and the name of the remote field. So the remote field name or the field name basically is the same thing that we are having over here, right? So all this information is known as metadata, which is exclusive to the particular columns. However, if you go to this data source preview, then you see all this data is available as well. So what is the difference between them? Actually, there is no difference between them. The only thing is that we are getting it in the form of metadata in a second option, which we can toggle from here. Okay. Now in the data source preview, we have one more thing. This is this filters pane that we have. If you just click on that, that would arrange the records in an ascending or the descending order. Like by default, you see the row ID is in the form of ascending order. If you click, it could be changed into the form of a descending order as well, like this. Okay. Similarly for the order ID as well, if you want to just change it, order date if you want to change it, or basically all the columns that we have available with us, if you want to change any of those columns order and you want to just set the records according to that filtering criteria, you can do that as well. Now we were talking about these rows. We have 1,000 rows shown to us, but in our original data source we had 10,000 rows. So does that means that all of our 9,000 rows have been dropped? No, that's not the case. This is just a preview which we are seeing. This is not the original data source. Okay, because that has 10,000 records, so that would take like a lot of time to load and show us the preview. So what we have is, this is the number of the rows. From here we can just set the number of the rows that we want to show in the preview. By default it is 1000. Suppose 1000 rows are not present in your data source. If it is a small data source and has like 400 records, then 400 rows would be shown. Now if you want, you can just set it to like a really huge number. I have 1, 10, 100,000, 10,000 lakhs, 10 lakh number I have set. And when I click on enter, then what happens is I get this number changed to 9,994. Why? Because this is the total number of records that I have available in my data source. So if you set a huge number, then the maximum number of records available would be shown to you, which is 9,994 in our case. If you don't want these much records, if you want like, I don't know, 5 records to be shown, you can just select 5. So what will happen? First 5 records are shown to you. If you want like 10 records, so you can just select 10, press enter. So the first 10 records would be shown to you for preview. Now this is for the rows. Let us talk about the columns. That is, how can you make sure that only a few columns are visible and all the columns are not visible. Okay, so suppose I want to hide this row ID. So how can I do that? For this you need to go to this drop down option. Here is this option to hide. You can click on that. Now what happens? That field is hidden, or that particular column is hidden. Now we are not able to get this row ID into our preview. Now remember this thing, that when you hide any field or when you hide any column, a column can also be called a field, then it is only hidden from the preview. It's not hidden from the original data source, it is present there. Okay, you want to hide something more. Suppose I don't want this country region, so you can just hide it as well. It's hidden. I don't want this segment, you can hide that as well. Okay, so this is all hidden. Now what happens if you want to get to view those fields as well, the hidden fields. So what you can do is check on this box that is show hidden fields. So once you check on that, you see these columns are visible once again, but they are in a grayed fashion. That means although they are visible, but they have been distincted from the original preview because they are hidden. In order to unhide them, what you can do is again click on this drop down. Now we have this option of unhide. You can just click on unhide and they would be unhidden. You can click on unhide. You can click on unhide from here as well. Okay, so they are all blacked once again. Now what you can do is you can rename this column. Suppose you don't want it to be shown in the form of a country/region, you just want the country. You can rename that column as well in the form of a country. Okay, or basically any other name to the column that you want to provide. Now what happens is you can also create aliases. So if you just select aliases, here is the member, that is United States, whose value is United States. But if you want, you can just provide an alias for that. Okay, you can click on OK. So what happens is an alias for this is created, right? Alias for this United States is created. If you want, you can just again go to this, select this particular value and provide an alias for it. Like, I don't want United States, I just want USA, and click on OK. Now what happens, this alias is created and you are able to view this alias instead of the original value. Now if I just uncheck on this option that is show aliases, then what happens is the original value is shown instead of the aliases. So basically alias is like another name for a value, like a shorthand name for better understanding of the data. Instead of United States, US is better understandable, so we have created an alias for that. You can click on this alias and that would be shown to you. If you want to clear it up, what you can do is you can just click on this arrow, go to alias, select this particular value and click on clear aliases. So what will happen is the alias would be cleared like this, and you can click on OK. Now if you just click on this checkbox that is show alias or not show alias, nothing will happen, no change would be shown to you because we have no aliases defined for any of these columns, right? Now we have this option to reset name. If you just select on that, then whatever renaming you have done, it would be undone. Like we renamed this column from country/region to just country, so we toggled it to clear that renaming, and that's what we got. Okay, so that is about the preview. Actually everything that you need to know about preview up till now, I have covered it all. Now what we are going to do is we are going to work with this data set and try to see to that how can we just create visualizations out of it. So if you take a look at this interface, it is a very simple interface. It is actually very similar to Microsoft Excel. You see in Tableau also we create books or workbooks. That's why by default its name is book 1. So what we can do is we can save it as, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save it in these documents, that is these Tableau documents, and save it as book 1. Its extension is TWB, that stands for Tableau Workbook, and you can click on save. Okay, so make sure to save your work each and every time you are starting, because it's good to have your work saved, otherwise you may face problems. Okay, so now let's talk about this menu bar. We have this menu bar. Actually this is very simple menu bar. We have these bunch of options, these good simple options. If you want to go back to the start page, here is this option to show start page, or there is a shortcut Control 2 from where you can just go to your start page. If you want to import an already existing workbook, you can do that as well. If you want to go to the repository location, this is the location of the Tableau repository, that is in this PC documents we had this Tableau repository. So if you want, you can just right click, go to this location as well. Okay, so basically this is all for this video. In the next video, we will discuss more about the Tableau interface. In the previous few videos, we have acquainted ourselves with the data source. We have seen the bunch of options available with us that we can perform on the data source once we have imported it, right? In this video, we will continue with the same only. First of all, let us talk about this Tableau interface, which is very simple, so it won't be difficult for you to understand that. Plus, if you have worked with any of the Microsoft products, especially with the products like Microsoft Excel, then it would be easier for you to grasp it, because this interface is very simple to that. Just like Microsoft Excel, Tableau also uses the concept of workbooks and worksheets. Okay. So we have seen this file menu in the previous video. We have acquainted ourselves well with it. Next we have is the data menu. In this data menu, we have everything related to the data source that we can perform. Like if you want to create a new data source, so that's the first option available along with a shortcut Control D. Next we have is the refresh data source option. So when will it work? Suppose you have set up a live connection and you made some changes into your original data source, then those changes will not be automatically reflected into Tableau. You need to come over here and select this refresh data source option. Then this data source connection would be refreshed with the original data source, and whatever changes have been made over there would be shown into your Tableau as well. So this is the option used for that purpose. If you want to create a duplicate or a copy of your data source, then you can use this option. If you have some data copied and you want to paste it as a data source, you can do that using this option. Then we have export data to CSV. Now what does this mean? We had our file which was in the form of an Excel sheet. So out of those data source, or out of this file, that was the sample Superstore file, we extracted one table or one sheet, that was the orders sheet. If you want, you can export this orders sheet as a standalone file, that is a CSV or a comma separated values file. So this is this orders option. You can click on this orders option. Now this particular you can say file would be exported in the form of a CSV files. Okay, you can click on save. So you can see it's taking a bit of time, and yeah, that's been done. Now let us just open up that to see how is it working. Here is that. This is a CSV file. You can just extend its type and you will see comma separated values file. If you just try to open it up with let's say Notepad to understand well how is it working, so you see all these values are in a comma separated fashion. Category, city, country, region, etc. are all in the comma separated fashion. All the 10,000 or 9,000 records, whatever it is, they are available in this kind of a file. Okay. So this is useful if you have made some changes into your data source in Tableau and then you want to extract them in a separate file, then you can very easily use this option. This is actually a very good option that is available to export the data source. Okay, now let us come back to our Tableau. Next option we have is the closed data source. If you use that, the data source that you currently that is currently opened in your Tableau would be closed. If you want to apply any kind of filters to your data source, then you can do that as well, or you can edit those filters. You can add new filters like this. Suppose I want a filter on category. Okay, so let's just select OK. Now what happens is I am given an option to select those filters. Like I only want the technology category items to be shown. Okay, so I can just select that. If I want, I can select multiple categories as well, like technology and furniture. I have this option of wildcard. That means if I want, if I have like multiple options. Let's not discuss wildcard with category. I will discuss it with subcategory. So with category, what I'm going to do is just go over technology and furniture. Okay, and then click on OK. So this is this filter, that is keeps furniture and technology. Only those records will be kept. Next, what I can do is I have something called subcategory. So if I just select on OK, then all these are available, right? There are multiple subcategories. What you can do is you can go to wildcard and say that okay, there are let's say there are 3 categories with A. I only want those categories which contain an A in them. Okay, so what I can do is go to wildcard, make sure it is contains, and I can click on A. Okay, and click on OK. So what will happen, that out of the 17 total subcategories what we had, 11 of them had A, so that is a filter that has been added. Apart from that, if you want more filters, suppose I want a filter on city. So this is the values of the cities. I can just select which cities I would want, or what can I do is I can just select this exclude option. So whichever cities I would select, they would be excluded. You see, this option has been removed, or it has been cutted down. Okay, so that means these cities would be removed if I select this excluded option. We have these different this summary as well, that will tell us that what will happen. That is, 2 values would be excluded out of the total 531 values of the different cities that we have. And if you want to provide a wildcard, you can provide a wildcard as well. In the wildcard also we have this exclude option. That means if it does not contain this particular thing, then I want to include it, or anything like that. Then there is this option to include all values when empty. That means if you provide a criteria for wildcard and nothing matches that, suppose I provide like Z and nothing matches that, then what happens is all the values will be included, because our filtering criteria filtered the records to none, if it happens. Okay, or you can say exactly matches, then it will happen. Next we have condition. So if you want to provide a particular condition, like for the row ID, suppose I want the different things, like what should be the minimum row ID. Right now I'm having row IDs from 1 to 9994. So suppose I want to set a minimum row ID equal to like 100. So all the values from 100 would be given. Or if I want to provide a range of values, then I can provide the minimum and the maximum values as well. I want to provide any kind of formula, then I can provide that formula as well. But I won't provide anything, so let's just use this reset button to reset all these conditions. Next we have this top. That means suppose you want only top or bottom few categories. Like we have this option, either top or either bottom. I want to get top or bottom 10 rows, right? Top 10 rows, how can I get? I have shown you in the preview. But if I just select bottom 10 rows, then that would be shown to me into my data source. So, or bottom, I can just select any number. You see, I can enter any value. That means suppose I want bottom 50 rows, I can do that. By what? So I want them by row ID. And this is the count. Count means the bottom 50s would be given to me. If I just select OK, then 50 members out of the total city members will be selected, because I selected this filter city. Okay, now these are the filters that I have selected. If I click on OK, then these filters would be applied on the data source. However, I don't want any of these filters to be applied, so what can I do is I can simply remove them. Or if you think that you have made some mistake, you want to change any of your filters, you can do that as well by clicking on this edit option, and again that particular filter would be shown to you. Of course, you can go to general and see the summary over here. You can just reset everything from here, you can reset everything from here, and the changes would be made. If you want to make any changes, like AB is the change I want to make, I can again go to general and it contains AB. Click on OK. So keeps labels and tables. These are the only 2 subcategories that would be taken. I want to remove this filter. You can click on remove. Again, I have this category, that is furniture and technology. That is the only 2 categories that would be kept. So if I want to make any changes, I can go to edit. If I want to remove them, you can click on remove. Okay. So this is the data source filters that we have. Next, we have these 3 options, that is referential integrity, join null values to null values, and maintain character case according to Excel. So these are some things that would be available once we have established the relationships between tables, that is when we are working with more than one table. So these are some things that we will discuss later on in the tutorial. That's all for this video, in which we learned about this data menu. So thanks for watching the video. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tableau tutorials. These tutorials are brought to you by Is Tableau Technologies and Services. In this video, basically, we will continue to see the overview of the Tableau data source once we have imported it into Tableau. So that is what we are going to see. Okay, so this is what we got from the previous video. We have seen the basics, all the basics that are possible, right? So we have seen the file menu, we have also seen the data menu completely. Now we have the server menu. So basically this server menu corresponds to Tableau Server and other sources, such as if you want to publish the data source, or if you have made your report or your dashboard and you want to publish that, then you can do that. If you want to install Tableau Public, that is also a product of the Tableau product suite. So if you want to install that, you can just open it or install it. Apart from this, if you want to open any kind of a workbook, you can provide its link directly and click on this connect option. So any of the online workbook which is present either on Tableau Server or Tableau Online, and you have the credentials for it, that you can open directly into Tableau Desktop. Okay, so let me just close this. Next we have Windows, which just has this status bar. So if you think, you can just open and close the status bar over here. This status bar shows us the status of the different things. Then we have the help menu that helps us to go to the to search about different topics through this open help option, and other things as well, like the product key, languages. If you want to just change the language, you can do that. Some of the sample workbooks are given. If you want to get a look at them, you can get that. And then there is this about section, so that will tell you about Tableau. Okay, let's just close that. Now this is what we have, just one table, that is the orders table. And if you hover over it, what we get is the logical table that is being shown over here. Double click to see the physical table. So what happens is, if you just double click over here, then what do we get is this table in this format actually. Okay, that is how many tables are present there. That means a sort of detailed view about that table. If you want to close it, you can just close that over here. Next, suppose we just don't want one table, we want to drag one more table. Suppose we just drag this people table over here, then what happens? Okay, so what do we get is, we get these two tables and they are connected through a relationship. Okay, now if there is any kind of a common field between these two, then you would be getting that. To understand more about the common table or the common field, let us open up our original data source. So this is our original data source, which is in the form of an Excel file. We are getting all this information. Like you see, this is the region column in this orders sheet. Then we have this people sheet. In this also we have this region and the person column. Okay, like this. So that means these two we can say sheets can be connected either with the help of the region or through this customer as well, I think. So you can connect them. But what happens is, in the case of region, we have the same column name, that is region is here, and in the people also we have this region. But in the case of this names, we are having this person name, and in the orders we have this customer name. So that is different. That's why the connection or the common point would be taken as region. Okay, so let's go back to Tableau. That's exactly what it has done, like this. Okay, if you want, you can just delete this, or if you want to add more fields, you can add more fields as well. So you can see, like, we have the customer name, and person. You can just add that as well. Okay. Otherwise, if you want to delete this, you can just click on this bin sign and it would be deleted. Then we have this performance options. Actually, it is used to set the cardinality. That means how the type of the relationship is. Now, what does this mean? By default, it is many to many relationship. That means many of the people or many of the regions are connected with many of the regions. Like, for example, if we have the orders table, in the orders table, we have the order of a person who has ordered like 4 items, right? But in the people's table, his mention is only once because he's a single person. So we would say that one person can order many items. So that relationship would be like 1 to many. However, if we are talking about many people, then let's suppose we are talking about 5 people, then those 5 people can order a large variety of items. So that relationship is many to many because many people can order many items. So that's the relationship, which is not our point of concern over here, right? So this is basically, we have got the relationship between these two tables, that is this orders table and the people table. Okay, now what we are getting over here is the people table. If we just click on the orders table, then we would be getting this orders table options, right? But if we click on this people's table, so we would be getting this people's table options over here. Next, we have the returns table. We can just add it as well. So yeah, the order ID is used for the relationship between the orders and the returns. Plus, if you want, you can just delete this. If you want to delete any table, you can just right click and click on remove. That table would be deleted, right? Now let's just bring up orders and returns once again. So yeah, in the returns, let's open up our data source. We have this order ID, I think. Let's go to the top. Yeah, we have order ID and returned. So order ID can correspond to the order ID given over here. And that's exactly the criteria. It has taken into consideration that the order ID must be equal to the order ID of both the tables. Okay, so you can go to edit calculation and check. So you see the calculation is valid. So basically what happens, to establish a connection or relationship between the two tables, a common column must be present. Only then they would be able to be connected with one another. Okay, we have 1-to-1 relationship, I think, over here. And if you want, you can just revert to default basically. Okay, so this is the returns table and the orders table that we are talking about over here. Now let's just remove this table for now and let us just continue with or start with our dashboard. So basically this is the data source that would be opened. Next we have is the sheet. So this is sheet 1. This is very similar to the Excel worksheet. That is, just like in Excel we have multiple worksheets, similarly we have multiple worksheets. If you want to add more, you can add more. Like you can add a new worksheet using this icon, you can add a new dashboard, or you can add a new story. So right now we have this sheet. If you want, you can just right click here and you can rename it. Suppose I'm gonna rename it as orders, right? So this is going to be my orders sheet. You see the name has been changed over here. That's the orders sheet. Okay, now this is the whole interface of the sheet. On the right hand side, you can see we have these different types of visualizations that we can generate. On the left hand side, we have all the, you can say, columns of the tables that are present over here in the data fields. This is the name of the table. We also have some analytics which are blurred off, so we won't be able to use them right now, but we would be able to use this data, right? Next we have some of the marks actually, which is just for the display purposes. So if you want, you can just change them as well. And then we have this columns and the rows format. So if you want to generate any kind of visualizations, this is where you would be dragging your column names or column fields. So how will we be generating the visualizations? This is something that we will see in the next video. That's all for this video, and thanks for watching.